Direct, engaging teams. Sales teams are deploying artificial intelligence to analyze calls and give reps exact moment-by-moment feedback. But the data shows a strange reaction. When an AI tells a salesperson exactly what to fix, their performance drops. Yet when a human manager gives that exact same granular feedback, performance spikes. Welcome to Inside Sales Geek. Today, we're looking at the data behind why the latest wave of sales technology is backfiring and the exact psychological mechanism you need to fix it. A 2025 study published in the Journal of Business Research tested this exact dynamic, running experiments with hundreds of B2B sales professionals to see how they reacted to different coaching sources. The researchers recognized that the true metric of any coaching, whether from a machine or a human, is whether the salesperson actually intends to use it. If reps are ignoring highly accurate AI feedback, the technology itself isn't broken. We are simply failing to understand how reps process information and what actually motivates them to change their behavior. The researchers isolated a critical variable in this process: self-efficacy. In a sales context, this is a rep's internal confidence to successfully execute a specific task, like navigating a cold call or closing a deal. The data shows a direct pipeline here. A rep must believe they can perform the task before they will commit to using the coaching they receive. If the feedback damages their self-efficacy, they discard the advice. But building that confidence depends entirely on how the feedback is framed. Psychologists refer to this framing as construal-level. Low construal coaching is highly concrete. It gives exact details, focuses on immediate execution, and explains exactly how to do something. High construal coaching is the opposite. It is abstract, focuses on the big picture, and emphasizes the why behind a strategy rather than the tactical details. How a coach chooses to frame their advice, either high or low construal, dictates whether a salesperson's self-efficacy grows, and ultimately whether they ignore the coaching or apply it on their next call. To see how this framing impacts human leaders, the researchers set up a scenario testing managers against different types of coaching. They found that when human managers delivered abstract, high-construal advice, it completely failed to build the rep's confidence. The researchers used a standard B2B tech sales scenario where a manager needed to help a rep tackle a difficult prospecting task. In the low-construal test, the manager provided a highly specific list of targets. They explained exactly how an opportunity score was calculated, based on website visits, email open rates, and the prospect's job title. Receiving this granular, highly detailed roadmap caused the sales professional's self-efficacy to increase significantly. They felt equipped to do the job and indicated a strong intention to follow the manager's plan. The reason for this reaction lies in a framework called psychological distance. Human beings perceive other humans, especially managers they interact with regularly, as being socially close to them. They share the same environment, pressures, and reality. Because of this low psychological distance, reps expect information from their manager to match that proximity. They want concrete, practical, in-the-weeds details that help them execute in the here and now. For a sales leader, this translates to a very specific mandate. During a one-on-one meeting, a manager needs to provide exact, actionable steps, not broad philosophy. A salesperson trusts a human leader who proves their competence by getting into the tactical details. That detailed focus is what ultimately builds the rep's confidence to execute. If you are finding this breakdown helpful, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with your revenue team. Now, let's look at the second half of the experiment. What happens when we introduce artificial intelligence into the coaching dynamic? AI can instantly scan hundreds of call transcripts and emails. Because of this massive processing power, sales organizations naturally assume they should configure their AI to give reps micro-detailed, highly specific feedback on every single interaction.
The study revealed that this is exactly the wrong approach. When AI delivers that concrete, low-construal feedback, the rep's self-efficacy flatlines. In some cases, it actually drops. Getting peppered with hyper-specific corrections from a machine triggers a psychological backlash. Reps feel micromanaged, they view the constant alerts as intrusive, and they feel judged by a system that lacks human context. To get salespeople to actually use AI insights, the researchers tested the alternative, framing the AI's feedback at a high construal level. A salesperson will reject an algorithm acting like a digital homeowner, but they will actively engage with the tool if we shift its role from tactical critic to strategic advisor. The researchers found AI coaching only increased a rep's self-efficacy when feedback was abstract, focusing on overarching goals and the general meaning of a task.
Instead of pinging a rep because they missed the pricing objection exactly 34 times, the system works better when telling them they successfully targeted the top 20% of their prospects for the quarter. Because the AI isn't perceived as having personal motives or career ambitions, its high-level strategic feedback feels genuine and objective, giving the rep a clean confidence boost. When that same machine gets overly granular, it highlights deficiencies relative to a strict, rigid standard. The rep doubts their own capabilities, and their intention to sell plummets. This perfectly aligns with our psychological distance framework. This diagram links psychological distance to construal-level. AI is non-human, placing it far from a salesperson's reality, requiring abstract information. Conversely, human managers are socially close. This proximity means reps process their information best when it is concrete and detailed. Salespeople recognize that AI can process massive datasets without cognitive bias. They respect that expertise, provided the output remains focused on broad strategic patterns rather than nitpicking individual phone calls. An algorithm's lack of humanity makes it an excellent resource for objective, big-picture analysis, but that exact same trait makes it completely unsuited for delivering tactical, boots-on-the-ground coaching. The researchers validated these psychological principles across 2 separate experiments involving over 500 sales professionals. These charts show the direct effect of both coaching sources on a salesperson's self-efficacy. Follow the dotted line representing the human manager. In both experiments, their impact clearly peaks on the right side, using low construal, detailed coaching. Now look at the solid line representing artificial intelligence. Its effectiveness peaks entirely on the left side, under the high construal, abstract condition. The crossing of these 2 lines forms a distinct X shape on the graphs, proving a perfect inverse relationship. The data proves that the precise coaching style that makes a human manager successful will actively sabotage an AI tool, and vice versa. We can translate this interaction effect directly into a playbook for running a modern sales floor. First, audit how human managers run their one-on-ones. Stop wasting face-to-face time on high-level motivational theory. Human leaders need to roll up their sleeves and provide concrete, tactical feedback on exactly how to execute the next steps. Second, go into the settings of your AI conversation intelligence tools and dial back the alerts. Configure the system so it delivers broad, trend-level data that tells the rep why they are succeeding or failing, rather than grading their every utterance. The ultimate synergy happens when you divide labor according to psychology. The human manager handles the tactical how, while the AI handles the strategic why. Start by isolating one of these changes. Adjust your AI settings this week, track your reps' adoption rates, and once you see the friction drop, start pushing your human managers to get more granular in their coaching sessions. Aligning the source's psychological distance with the right feedback style ensures that reps internalize coaching instead of resisting it, providing the structure necessary to improve performance across the entire team.